Everyone, it's Kirei here for Bramble Fox, and I have a brand new layout for you. I am using this fabulous extra large perspective title, Adventure, and I'm also using the Fox Cut stencil number 95 called Travel Borders. So I decided I pulled out the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Great Escape collection, and can you believe it? I actually haven't used it yet. It's been sat there waiting. Anyway, I had this. I like the plaid paper here. I just felt it sort of worked well with the photos that I'm going to be using. And I decided to use it as the main part of my background. So I've just sort of torn off a strip at the bottom because I wanted to have the adventure title sat against the white cardstock background, just because I felt it would just show up much better against that rather than that sort of heavily patterned background. Now I have three photos here. It was a weekend at home, but I had my cousin and her partner staying, and we just did basically had a bit of a local adventure. Just went and had a look around the really beautiful St Albans. There's lots of sort of Roman ruins, and the cathedral's beautiful. And then the other day we went into Wheathampstead, which is also a lovely small village, but it also has a lot of Roman history as well. And we had a wander around there. It was a really, really nice weekend. So I've decided, because I've got the three photos against that plaid background, I felt they just needed grounding because it is quite busy. So I've picked a couple of these sort of plainer pattern papers in that green and that sort of orangey toned zigzag pattern, and I'm just going to layer up my photos on those two pieces. But first I'm mounting them now on the slightly darker excuse me, darker green pattern paper as well. So just bringing in some of the colors that I used that are in the plaid paper background. So, of course, I'm going to distress the edges. It's very rare for me to leave any undistressed edges, I guess. So of course, all the pattern papers, the layers are going to get distressed, and then I can build up that over the plaid paper background. Now that adventure, it's called Adventure XL. Obviously it's a large title, and it is available in a number of colours. This is the duck egg, but it's also available in white. I think it might be available in possibly black as well. So but you can find that in the shop. Now this is the Travel Borders stencil, and I'm just sort of working out what I'm going to do, because I actually really liked the words on it: discover, go, see, do, explore. And I just thought I'd add that below the title. I am going to add another word to the title, so it's going to be called Weekend Adventure, but I'm just sort of working out where it's going to sit, because I want the stencil words to sit directly below the large adventure. Now, I am just adding a little bit of washi tape to hold my stencil in place. Lesson learned. I have done this and just held the stencil, and you're at risk of it moving and making a bit of a mess. So yeah, just a little bit of washi tape to hold it down. Now I'm using a couple of distress oxides. This is the green. It's called Bundled Sage, and I started with that first. I was going to leave it, and then I thought actually I might layer over it and create like a double effect. And I'll bring in the blue, which is Stormy Sky, and I basically match these to the pattern papers. So it's like a bluey grey. So it worked actually really well with that sort of grey in the back in the paper here. Okay, so now I've added the stenciling, I can actually get everything stuck down, which is a bit of a win, because I often stick everything down and then decide I'd like to add some stenciling, and then you've got to fiddle around because you're trying to get it, sit close to something and you've already stuck layers down, etc. So no, I was a bit more organised this time, and I knew that's what I was going to do. Okay, so now I'm just working out where they're going to sit and in which order. And then I can get these stuck down. So I'm going to add some foam pads to the top of this larger piece here, just to create a bit of dimension, but only on the top edge. Now, I've obviously, torn the bottom edge of that large paper. I end up covering most of it up, to be fair, because I end up actually trying to flatten it down a little bit so that I can stick that bottom edge down because that's just flat straight to the ground. Okay, and then not forgetting to take the markings off, so that will stick down, but I know it's all nice and straight now. Just a little bit of extra distressing around the edges there, just lifting them up, and then I can stick that down. I'm sticking that down flat, and then with my photos, again, I will just add the foam pads to the top of each of the photos. Okay. So, yeah, so if you do not or have not been on the Bramble Fox website, pop on over brambleffox.co.uk and you can find all the fabulous goodies that they have available, obviously including the ones I'm using here. And also, you can find the details about actually subscribing to their monthly Foxbox kit. So, which yeah, it gives you basically every month you get your box of goodies, so you don't miss out. So that's worth having a look at as well. And there's a couple of options with that for the Foxbox subscription. There's a Foxbox regular subscription with all the perspectives, and then the Foxbox Plus that gives you the Fox cut, the stencil and the paper snips. Now I have got some of the paper snips actually. I'm just using here. There are a few word ones just below the trees there, and there's a couple over there on the right that I pulled out that worked well. And these are paper snips number 58. They come with the June Fox box. So I just had a few of them. I think I've got Outdoor Adventures, Get Together, which I am adding over there on the right. And I'll also use Life is Sweet and Full Heart as well. So just some of the colours worked really nicely. Now I've obviously pulled out some of the coordinating ephemera from the Cocoa Vanilla Great Escape collection, and I'm just getting it sort of stuck down now. I sort of know where it's going. I've had a play, and now I can just get that stuck down. That map was flat, but I've actually just sort of folded it so that it has dimension with it. You can just see the sort of I added 2 folds to it, scored it, and then folded it. I've added the little flags. I fussy cut some of those from pattern paper. And then there we go. That's the Life is Sweet from the Paper Snips. Having a look at which ones. I do add the little yellow one. That is the Full Heart one that I'm going to add. And then I have a few other perspectives. I've got the camera there. I've got the arrow that I'm adding on here. I've also got that mustardy geotag. They actually come from a travel collection that was available a little while ago. So I don't think that's in the shop right now. But yeah, just pulled out a few extra bits from my stash. Still deciding where things are going. I've got the geotag. Now, it worked out quite well because I've got the word Wheat Hampstead. We were on the station. It's an old station. It's not working. But I added the geotag just above the sign where that was. So it sort of marks the places that we went. And then I will get my adventure title stuck down. I'm using glossy accents, which I do with all my any perspectives that I add down just because it gives it a nice strong hold. And this gives such a great feature. And if you can see there, I love how it pops on the white. It definitely works well on the white versus on a pattern background. Might get a little bit more lost. And I've moved on. I have added the weekend. I added it in gold. I mean, look, it's hard to see on the video because actually it's much clearer when I'm looking at it in real life. But I did wonder if I should have backed the weekend with the pattern paper or something, just so that would sit away from the photos. And then I'm just adding a few enamel stars just around the clusters here. And then I'm pretty much almost done. I think I'm going to add, yes, I'm going to add some gold ink in just a moment. Here we go. And I'll just add that to each of the embellishment clusters. And that just ties in with the gold title that I added the weekend. So, yeah, and then I'm done. And we'll get some of the close-ups in just a moment. Oh, and don't forget, I do add my journaling below the title, of course. So here we go, the final layout and some of the close-ups. You can see the detail in that really lovely large, extra large title. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye for now.